Welcome to this episode of our program Daily Debate. As usual, we will be discussing an important topic. Tonight, we'll be focusing on the inauguration of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the quartz production complex in Ain al-Sukhna, which the President has inaugurated this morning, along with the opening of Marsa Alam's quartz crushing plant, the annual production of which stands at 140,000. That happened this morning. The President has said that the quartz production complex is a good investment opportunity and expressed his hopes that investors in private sector will not waste any more time, noting that the complete of the remaining phases would take $700 million, pointing out that despite being a hefty sum, Egypt will cover in within 3 to 4 years. The President has urged the government to remove all hindrances facing Egyptian and foreign investors in order to utilize opportunities that would enable boosting production and exports. We'll be speaking about the inauguration of today and definitely the mining industry in Egypt, how important it is for the Egyptian industry and the efforts that the government is carrying out with in order to make this industry of great usage for the economic file of Egypt. We'll be speaking about that with our dear guest, Dr. Mohamed Roshdy, economic and banking expert and lecturer at Cairo University. Thank you for being with us.
Good evening, and thank you for you and the Daily Debate team for this kind of invitation.
Thank you so much, always a pleasure. Before we delve into our discussion, let's first have a quick look on this report. And President Sisi inaugurates the quartz industrial complex in Ain al-Sukhna. Let's watch.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi witnessed the inauguration of the quartz factory complex in Ain al-Sukhna on Thursday. During the inauguration ceremony, President al-Sisi expressed the state's keenness on eliminating any obstacles facing investors in the petroleum sector and encouraging the private sector to grab investment opportunities in this domain. The head of state reiterated that the project aims to achieve a qualitative leap in the mining sector and increase the value of Egyptian raw materials. It also creates new job opportunities and support export and trade exchange. At the end of his inspection tour of the complex, President al-Sisi inspected the Egyptian company for mining, which included many kinds of quartz. The complex is the first integrated industrial project for the production of quartz, or known as white gold. The quartz factories complex was implemented by the National Service Projects Agency of the Armed Forces. It exploits high-quality ores from the Red Sea Mountains, where the purity of quartz reaches 99% in a mine in Marsa Alam. The project is the first of its kind in Egypt, Arab and African countries, and the first of the world in terms of the integration of the production process.
Right, welcome back, and let me again welcome our guest, Dr. Mohamed Roshdy, economic banking and lecturer at Cairo University. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start with a reading to the President's keenness to follow the management of Egypt's mineral resources wealth at large, because this is not the first inauguration that the President has attended and was keen to attend himself.
Actually, I would like to start to brief our audience about this mega project and the importance of this project, and the important messages that the presidential leadership is focusing on that will positively reflect on FDI, attracting FDI, and a lot of things. In a nutshell, I would like to just, in a nutshell, to brief our audience about this mega project and the importance of it. This quartz complex project is cost, as far as I recall, 80 million euros.
Yes,
and it's the competitive edge for this mega project. It's the first of its kind in the world, as it creates out all the processing phases of the minerals, and it will be also the quartz plant in Africa and the Middle East. And this is one of the most important things that positively will reflect on a lot of things. One of them, which is it's created, as far as I recall, 2,600 direct and indirect jobs. In addition to one of the most important things that will be a training for technical and engineering in Italy, as you know, and our audience, one of the most important investor in this project, which is Italy. Yes, it's, as far as I recall, it invested like 6 million euros through 1,200 large, medium, and small companies in a lot of sectors, which is agriculture, manufacturing, and food, a lot of things. Energy. This is one of the most crucial things.
And now mining.
Yeah, nowadays it's mining.
Yes.
Furthermore, a plant will establish to produce by quartz with, at, as far as I recall, $7 million with annual capacity 60,000 tons. This will be a competitive edge, and we will have a strategic partnerships with a lot of multinational companies, which will positively reflect on our GDP growth. As you know, and our audience nowadays, the challenge, which is to, if you would like to grow your country, you have to focus on the GDP structure. The GDP structure actually consists of three main parts: the agricultural parts, the industrial parts, and the service part. The industrial part and the service part, they have the highest added value. For that reason, the government and the presidential leadership, they have the visionary to focus on this projects, the industrial and service projects, to enhance our GDP growth, to be one of the most important and fastest
main
growing
contributor to attracting foreign currency.
Yes.
Yes. Let me here take it from where you ended, and one of the things that you spoke about are the messages in the statements of the president today. Because, yes, indeed, the president is always keen to attend the inauguration of all projects, particularly of what concerns the very important ones to the Egyptian economy, knows with figures.
Yes.
Where are we going? Where did we achieve? And what is needed? And how many years? I mean, he knows everything. He's following up with every small detail.
For the first time, to have a time plan, clear time plan for everything.
Indeed. If I may ask you here about the clear messages the president sent today during his inaugural, or while addressing the inaugural ceremony.
I would like to start with the comment that I would like to quote our president with one of his comments when he is addressing the public, saying, "I know the costs of the projects may seem high, but look at the benefits of substituting imports, saving billions, adding value to the economy by processing raw material, especially that our natural resources are not very big. Mind that we import food in billions, while introducing factors cost just 10 of millions." This is one of the most important things. I would like to take it and analyze and get several messages from this. One of the most important things, that when we are investing in projects, we shouldn't just see figures or numbers of the investments. We have to think about the ROI. What's ROI? Which is the return on investments. This is one of the most important and crucial things that we have to focus on. If you are, he just deliver a clear message. If you are sending, if you are investing or paying or cost of it, if it costs you 10 millions, it will return with billions, and we will save a lot of things. This is one of the most important things. The second thing, which is he is encouraging the private sector to come, the foreign investors to invest on those potential projects.
Foreign and local.
Foreign and local.
Definitely.
And he delivered clear messages that the governments will work in harmony to facilitate all obstacles for the investors. Despite the fact there was a lot of things changed. Nowadays you can go for GAFI, General Authority for Investment, and you have the
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop, thank you, or one window. They are calling it one window. You can finalize everything in one day from one window. This is one of the most important things which is reflected on the competitiveness of our country. There's a global competitiveness report, which is when you are going to invest in any country, before taking the investment decision, what you are going to see as an investor, you will see the the competitiveness report. Egypt jumped a lot of ranking in competitiveness report. This competitiveness report, which include the facilitation, the tax incentive, the energy, the manpower, the qualified manpower, everything that we are offering to get FDI. And it was crystal clear from the presidential leadership that all obstacles and everything is facilitated and will be facilitated more and more to simplify the process of investment in Egypt, as it will be crystal clear, in my humble opinion, one of the most important business hubs in Africa and Middle East in coming years.
Certain issues here that you spoke about are really very important. We're speaking about creating a conducive atmosphere for investors to come. And certainly there are several opportunities that the President has spoken about today. And here the President, when he spoke, he said clearly that there is no more, or that there is not really any need to waste any more time, because everything is open. The new or the highest council for investments, in which the President is presiding it himself, it means that any kind of burdens, any kind of obstacles, hurdles, he will be reviewing them himself, and we will follow up with all this himself. If I may ask you about the importance of such atmosphere to attract further investments to Egypt and the existing opportunities.
Actually, I would like to start from your point, which is the highest council for investment. This is one of the most important things, which is the structure of this council is totally different. You can realize the facilities which done through this important council. Why? You can see easily who are members: Ministry of Finance,
all concerned ministries,
all ministries, Central Bank. They have a representative in this, and it's reviewed by the presidential leadership. Actually, this is one of the most important things. What is the strategic objective from this? Is to simplify the process for investments, attract more FDI to our countries. Because, as you know, and our audience, we have an ambitious plan in terms of to decrease our imports, and in addition to enhance our actually exports to reach, as far as I recall, $100 billion non-petroleum exports to reach $100 billion. How we can do this? We can do it easily through what's going nowadays, through collaboration for all ministries together to facilitate for investors, local investors and foreign investors, which is positively reflected on the GDP structure, in addition to bringing more FDI to our country. Especially nowadays, the country has an ambitious plan to get, as far as I recall, $10 billion from the own state policy, actually, to get $10 billion in 4 years, actually, with run rate 10 billion. To get 40 billion, as far as I recall. Actually, this is one of the most important and crucial things. How we can do this through doing a strategic plan to get more FDI and to collaborate in a harmony, all ministers actually working together with central banks and trying to reduce the obstacles as much as the government can.
Actually, a main also aim here is to reach $100 billion exports, and that's a high demand for the country. The present
non-petroleum exports, can you imagine? Non-petroleum.
What I remember is that we need to reach this.
Yes. This is
the present here directives was to continue working on optimally manage and exploiting the mineral wealth and raw materials that are available in Egypt. How do you view the importance of that? How is it important, particularly that the president today spoke about not only using the mineral resources but also managing them and turning them into other materials that are useful in other industries?
Actually, we have a great vision. The leadership has a great vision because, as I told you, we are not inventing the wheel. Let's see what's going globally. If you would like to build a strong GDP structure, we have to focus on 3 things, as I told you and our audience previously, which is the agricultural part and the industrial part and the service part. The most added value things, which is the service and the industrial part. For that reason, best utilizing our mineral resources to have high added value will positively reflect on our GDP structure and the growth rate. And this is what was happening globally for a lot of developed countries to be developed countries. We can see it easily. A lot of countries did that, and for that reason, we are on the right track, and we're working and focusing on the added value. For that reason, the presidential leadership has a great vision to best utilize the resources with added value, to turn them to products, final products, especially, as you know, under our audience, the new project actually will help us to a lot of ingredients and things that included in laptops, mobiles, a lot of things which will support, and it has a high added value, and this positively will reflect on our growth rate for the GDP structure.
And we'll also lessen our imports. You know, we sometimes we need some of the raw materials to import some of the raw materials that would help us in some of the production. If we really utilize our resources, that would let us or give us the chance to diminish our needs from the imports and depend on the local products. Before I move on with our discussion, let me first have this quick look on our second report. And Egypt turns rocks into white gold. Let's watch.
National Service Projects Authority of the Armed Forces, represented by the Egyptian Company for Mining Management and Exploitation of Quarries and Salines, has completed the construction of a huge industrial complex for the production of quartz, ore known as white gold, from the mountains of the Red Sea. These came in light of the directives of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to maximize the utilization of mineral raw materials, including quartz ore. The project is located in Ain Sukhna region, in the middle of its mountains, in which the state was keen to construct a supportive road for the quarries operating in that region in order to support mining activity. Egypt was also keen to implement it as an integrated project, the first of its kind in Egypt, Arab and African countries, and it is classified as the first project in the world in terms of the integration of the production process after quartz was exported abroad with minimal amounts, and then it was imported at twice the price of the raw material after the manufacturing operations on it. According to Mineral Resources, the concentration of quartz ore in Egypt is considered one of the highest concentration rates of purity worldwide. The Mineral Resources reports also indicate that quartz is used in the manufacture of photovoltaic solar cells, electronic boards, computer chips, vehicles, microelectronic devices, iron and steel, and quartz panels, which the factory complex in Ain Sukhna focuses on. The Ain Sukhna complex includes 4 factories which receive quartz ore after crushing it first in Marsa Alam into small sizes ranging from 3 to 5 centimeters. Then it is received by the main crushing plant in the Ain Sukhna complex, which breaks the one into small granules with sizes of 3 to 4 millimeters after optical separation and washing. Officials of the Egyptian mining say that the Ain Sukhna complex project aims to exploit the natural raw materials available in Egypt, thus contributing to maximizing the added value of quartz ore, increasing the country's national income and contributing to the country's comprehensive industrial development plan. The project also aims to meet the needs of the local market for quartz slabs needed to equip hospitals, hotels, and others.
Right, welcome back, and Dr. Mohamed, and the importance of using the advanced technological techniques in a way to maximize the added value of what Egypt process of mineral resources. How do you view that?
Actually, Egypt has reserves of tantalum, which is one of the most precious and rare elements used in sophisticated industries, such as aircraft component industries and microelectronic and mobile and laptops. And all of them, as you know, and our audience, in our modern life, they are a crucial components of any of our devices that we are using nowadays.
That was the president previous inaugural project of such a mineral resource. Please continue.
And as you said, and this has the highest added values nowadays because it's highly demanded from a lot of nations and a lot of countries, and we couldn't in our modern life we couldn't live without them. As you know, mobiles, laptops, everything nowadays, a lot of people are technology savvy. They are using mobiles, laptops, and those things has nowadays the highest added value. For that reason, we have a great vision to focus on the added value things. We will not export them as a raw material. We have to add a value for them, and this is positively reflected on our GDP growth. And we will have a potential economy based on focusing on those industries, part of our ambitious plan.
Indeed. From your point of view, how would, as you said, respectively, here maximizing the utilization of the existing mineral resources, not exporting them as raw material, but rather work on them to extract out possible usage of those minerals, how would that be a diversion towards exporting or an exporting state, particularly in minerals, in minerals that are used in very sophisticated issues? How would that even return on the economy of the state? And I'm speaking about the revenues and in terms of foreign currency, and how do we very much in need of that?
For sure, it will positively reflect on our foreign currency. Foreign currency reserve will do two things. We will meet the local needs for crucial things, crucial products nowadays like mobiles, laptops. We can do it in Egypt, and we can also export them to a lot of countries. In my humble opinion, if we focus on this strategy and we work closely, all sectors, private and public sector in Egypt work closely, in coming years will be a business hub, a great business hub to export a lot of technology products like mobiles, laptops, and it has a great added value to our economy. And all developed countries nowadays, they are not focusing on agriculture or not focusing on things that has low added value. They are focusing on the highest added value products, which is mobiles, laptops, mechatronics, a lot of things, aircrafts, a lot of things that has high added value. And if we focused on it, positively, our GDP growth will go like 5 to 6% in coming years, maybe more than that.
Caring for Egypt's mineral resources, that definitely contributes to strengthening the state's industrial plan, because we have an industrial plan put by the leadership and the government. And definitely will reflect on the national economy. From your point of view, what is exactly the state's industrial plan at large, and how this national strategy would really reflect on the national economy?
Actually, we have an ambitious plan. The ambitious plan, which is divided in two things: to save, as the president said, to save our things, to save our money, to save our efforts, to decrease our imports, and to increase our exports. How we can do that? If we are focusing, if we will focus on the industrial things, which has the highest added value nowadays, we will decrease our imports. Due to that, we will meet our local demand. In addition to, we will have a surplus. This surplus will positively reflect on our exports. We will do a lot of agreements, partnership, especially in Africa, Europe, to
Our partners at large.
Partnerships, a lot of partnerships. I'm just talking about Africa, Europe, our near neighbors. But nowadays, due to globalization, you can say that the entire world is a small village. But I'm just talking about geographical, the geographical place for Egypt, actually, which is we are near to Europe, we are near to, we are in Africa, and we near to Asia. We have a strategic location,
Very much indeed.
and this will positively reflect to have a quick or to facilitate the exports way to all of them in a cheap price, and will be a competitive edge because we have educated and trained manpower, and we have a good technology due to we are getting a lot of foreigner in
We are turning into digital transformation, total digital transformation. And that is one thing that I would really like to ask you about. Now, one of the issues that really facilitate procedures for investors was our work on digital transformation. How is that contributing towards facilitating the measures and procedures taken by the investors, and how would that lift lots of bureaucratic work?
Actually, this is one of the most important things, which is the digital transformation. I would like to start globally about digital transformation. This is the new era, the digital transformation. Actually, I recall one of the jokes that one of my international friends was saying it, especially in COVID-19. He is asking that who is leading the digital transformation in your company? Is it the CIO, the Chief Information Officer, the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, or COVID-19? The COVID-19, actually, which is COVID-19, which speed up the digital transformation in a lot of countries. As I told you and our audience, that we are nowadays, due to the globalization, we are a small village. And this happened in a lot of countries, that everything digitalized and going to digital transformation. Nowadays, the government did a quick win from this. We can see easily a lot of process. We can see it. We did it in a digital platform. And for example, you can establish your company and request things from the digital platform, the governmental digital platform. If you'd like to establish your company, you can request, and you can get all things through the governmental digital platform. And this decrease the turnaround time to establish a company, and in addition to it, give a positive signals to investors that you can go quickly in Egypt to have a great investment, and everything is available. If you'd like to get any info, you have the accessibility, and this is, as I told you, the new era for our life.
When we speak about the government's and the leadership efforts to attract more foreign investments, let me take how you view efforts that were made on different domains in order to be able to create this atmosphere, be able to attract foreign investors and local investors, and tell them we are ready.
This is a good question, actually.
It's a huge one.
Yeah, for sure. If you would like to give a positive signal to the global community that you are ready to have a great investments here and our country is ready for that, you have to focus on a lot of things. One of them, you have to have a good infrastructure, source of energy, to establish plants, to establish a lot of companies, and to have a trained manpower. And nowadays, the government is focusing, and the presidential leadership is to enhance our manpower, to give the market skills to governmental students, the acquired market skills nowadays, you can easily realize in a lot of universities that nowadays we are combining the pragmatic and dogmatic side together to let people ready for that and enhancing the health part. And we have a mega project for that. Our man labor will be ready, or manpower will be ready to do a lot of things. And when I'm coming as an investor in any country, what should I see? That I have a good infrastructure that will help me. We have enough electricity to, while I'm working, I'm paying salaries for people. If I have electricity issue, what will happen? It costs me that I'm paying without return, and I will not go for this country. For that, the presidential leadership is focusing to build a good infrastructure. The transportation, it facilitates easily a lot of things. The transfer for manpower, the transfer for products in the domestic part. In addition to, we have to have a trained manpower. And nowadays you can see a lot of technical universities and technical courses for the manpower. In addition to a lot of things, all of those things can positively reflect on and motivate me as an investor to come and invest my money in Egypt, and I'm quite sure that I will have a great ROI. And this is a positive signal to the global community and for the foreigner investors to come Egypt and invest in our country.
We spoke about the digital transformation. We spoke about efforts made by the government and the leadership in order to prepare the ground for attracting more investments. We did not speak about how the state is conducting a kind of expertise or a kind of operation rooms for management, and we did not speak about the good governance.
Okay.
And financial inclusion, because all those, they are part of the all-out integral plan.
In my humble opinion, that governance and financial inclusion are two faces for one coin.
Yes.
I would like to correlate them and to elaborate more for our audience briefly. That we can realize easily that our economy is divided in two parts, which is formal economy and the informal economy. Okay, and we have a huge part of our economy, unfortunately, is informal. What's happening nowadays that the government, with collaboration with Ministry of Finance, Central Bank of Egypt, they did a lot of initiative for financial inclusion. The strategic objective from this to get the informal economy to be formal, that all money should be in transaction through banking, and this positively will reflect on our GDP growth, and we can realize easily a lot of positive things that will happen in coming days.
My time is out, but only in half a minute. We spoke about everything. What is needed now from the private sector?
Private sector is to go and to invest. This is the best time to have a great investment in Egypt, as it is a potential country.
Very much indeed. Very much indeed. And with that, I leave your message here. And Dr. Mohamed Roshdy, economic banking expert and lecturer at Cairo University, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Pleasure. And dear viewers, next debate would be on Sunday. Many thanks for watching, and good night.